in Nelson territory. Michael Gray parked in front of the net, and back comes Nelson, a 2-on-1 break. In over the line, Semenoff shoots, and a good save on the play by Branch, who stuck out his blocker and made the save. Scramble for the puck along the boards. And back comes Team BC on the attack. In over the line, Gray shoots, and Jones made the save. Puck cleared out, and back comes Team BC on the attack. In over the line, there's a shot. That's blocked by the Nelson defense, as Nelson has had the majority of play here in the early going of the third period. Team BC right now in Nelson territory, digging for the puck, but it's taken by Adam Deadmarsh up on the wing. There's a pass onto the stick of Stathis Demopoulos in front of the net. Puck cleared into the corner. Along the boards, Deadmarsh trying to send it back to the blue line. He does. It was kept onside momentarily, then cleared out again. The Maple Leafs dumping the puck out of their own zone. It's cleared back in again, offside. And we've played 14 minutes, 13 seconds on the third period. 4-0 Team BC over the Maple Leafs.
Blue ticket, the lucky number is 0165504.
Well, you know, for a very cold night, not a bad turnout of fans for an exhibition game.
No, I think there's a respectable crowd on hand, and they are getting to view some of the best talent as far as under 17-year-olds in BC. And you sort of have to keep track of the names as well, because you never know where they'll end up. Some of these players just might be in the NHL in the not too distant future.
The next is for a box of chocolates. It's a red ticket, 089.
Face-off will be in deep Team BC territory to the left of Rod Branch, who took over midway through the second period for Dan Murphy. There's McConaughey shooting, and Steve Williams couldn't contain the puck in front of the net to put it in. There's a chance, a shot right on, and Jones made the save. Loose puck as Correa was digging around there. Here's Mowry clearing the puck into Team BC territory. He was knocked down by number 7 Nichols, and I noticed that Shandy Mowry took a look over his shoulder to check the number of the freight train that hit him. In the center ice area, here comes Correa in over the line. Correa to Stock. Stock shoots right on, and Jones spread eagling. There's a lot to Brian Jones.
There is, yes, he's a big fellow. Oh, that wasn't pretty. That Correa was just turning around to chase the puck, and I think his stick ended up in the referee's face, and Dave Fujibayashi went down almost immediately. He's getting back up, but again, something you don't want to see. But just in the course of play, Correa was turning quickly to chase the puck and ended up in the referee's lap almost.
Well, it just shows you that referees aren't immune to the rough going in a hockey game either.
No. And I don't want to pass this evening without mentioning something about your attire. Though we're dressed mostly in winter garb, you looked pretty distinguished as you entered the building with that gray fedora on top of your head. And I was just wondering if there was a transition period there from Ted Hargreaves to yourself. I noticed that Ted doesn't wear his anymore, and you have a bit of a story behind that as well that you might want to share with the fans.
Yeah, he, after the last year's playoffs, he gave it up. He said, no, that's been bad luck. I got mine for Christmas from Calgary.
Well, it looks very nice on you, and That's one thing I always looked for when I came to the rink to see if Ted had his hat on, and I was surprised this year that he wasn't wearing it, so I'm glad you filled me in as to what was happening there.
Puck in Nelson territory now. It's McConaughey along the boards to Jeff Ball. Ball held in check there. A pass in front. And back now for the Maple Leafs. It's Bonderud in over the line. He was checked out as he took the shot. And Bonderud throws the check into the corner. Digging after that puck was David Green. David Green with the puck. Green leaves it for Bonderud, his teammate with Castlegar, who dumps it into the corner. Taken now by Daryl Domini. Domini, who normally plays with the Grand Forks Border Bruins in the KIJHL. And here comes Mike Gray. Gray had the puck knocked away from him. Puck in Nelson territory. It's loose along the boards. The Maple Leafs would like to get on the score sheet here. Here they come. There's a shot just off the target by Stathis Demopoulos, who has shown a pretty hard shot.
Well, yeah, he's a member of the Nelson Midget team, and that was a pretty booming drive by Stathis. And he's one of the leading scorers in that division.
He started the season with the Castlegar Rebels. And now he's back in his hometown of Nelson and playing with the Nelson Midgets.
So far, Brian Jones is sporting a shutout as well since he came in midway through the second period. Team BC has not been able to get anything past him. And, of course, nothing has got by either one of the netminders for Team BC, namely Rod Branch or Dan Murphy.
In Team BC territory behind the net, Maury tries to get it out in front of the net. He couldn't back to the blue line. Parker is belted. And after Parker sent a few pretty hefty checks in the early going of the game, he was the recipient of quite a belt there.
As you give, so shall you receive is one of the mottos of hockey, I think.
In Team BC territory, Williams had the puck taken away from him. And in over the line comes Cameron Knox. Knox, his pass in front. Nobody there. And back for Nelson is Swiderski. Swiderski in over the line. Swiderski shoots right on the rebound. And Williams was held in check and couldn't get his shot away. Wheeling around is Jeff Ball. Ball starting away. Flipping the puck into Team BC territory. A shot from a difficult angle. Rolls wide. And racing down the ice is Correa. In over the line, he was checked out, and Jones was able to clear the puck away. Here come the Maple Leafs on the attack, in over the line. Dustin Green had the puck taken away from him, and Jones out of the net. Hangs on to the puck for a face-off as Correa was dangerously near his bailiwick.
Yes, Correa with a goal and assist in tonight's game. 2 points for him. And helping out in the 4-0 score for Team BC. And so far, there's about 9 minutes or so for Murphy to keep the shutout for Team BC. And if you want to compare this to the other contests that Team BC has played in, the score isn't as high as it has been in the other 2 contests, but it might be the first time that a shutout occurs as well. So
you just put the kiss of death on Team BC's goaltending tandem.
You had to say that, huh?
Well, Nelson on the attack, and over the line, Dale Bonderud. Bonderud has the puck knocked away from him, but Semenoff was in there digging. Now it's Green, the all Castlegar connection out there now. Kept onside. There's a shot off of the blocker and off of the post, and the net knocked off its moorings by Semenoff, and we'll have a face-off in deep Team BC territory.
what good is a mouth unless you stick your foot into it a couple of times during the course of a day? Frank?
True.
And we've been in situations like this before where we've...
Namely Castlegore 2 years ago. Here comes the shutout. Well, here comes the win. Well.
How many times did we change our minds during that game anyway?
That's when George Eisner Jr. nicknamed me Foot and Mouth Matovich.
Oh, it's great.
There's only 5 minutes to go in the game, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But thank heavens, Jeff Adams was the savior of the night. He scored the winning goal in overtime. There's a shot. That's blocked by the Nelson defense. And away go the Maple Leafs along the boards in Team BC territory. Team BC starting back on the attack. Here comes Chadney. Chadney in front of the shot, scores! Finally, Rob Millikan was able to beat Brian Jones, who was also working on a 0. It's now 5-0 for Team BC.
Are you trying to remind me that I said something I shouldn't have?
No, you were referring to Team BC.
I was, but in passing, I also mentioned Brian Jones was sporting a shutout.
BC's fifth goal was scored by number 8.
Yeah, you did.
Rob Millikan with an assist from number 10, Randy Chadney, and number 20, Jade Kersey. Time of the goal was 11:52.
11:52, the time of that goal, as Millikan was the marksman. And Jones had no chance on that high shot on the glove side, as Team BC back on the attack again. Puck is knocked off the boards. In Nelson territory, held along the boards. A battle for it there. And the Maple Leafs gain control. Starting out of their own zone, Shandy Mowry moving in over the line. Mowry is tied up along the boards, and we have a bit of board crunching going on in Team BC territory. Steve Williams is right in there front and center, and he has a lot of weight to add to any skirmish along the boards, and we've had several, particularly in the last while. There's a shot, and that was blocked by goaltender Rod Branch, and it's called offside, intentionally offside, and the faceoff will be taken back down into Nelson territory to the left of Brian Jones with 6 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the third period.
Well, I don't know if I exactly agree with the intentional offside call on that one. The puck just came out when Ruben Parker was winding up to blast it in, but so it goes in the realm of hockey. We've had the face-off, and we're coming up the ice again. Sort of.
Puck in the center ice area, fired back into Nelson territory again. Jones leaves it for McConaughey, and play is whistled down. And the face-off will be taken outside the Nelson blue line. Trying to figure that one out.
I guess one of the Team BC players didn't get outside the line or something there.
From the draw, Jeff Ball to Kevin McConaughey. McConaughey, a long pass, racing it over the line now. A 2-on-1 situation, but that was broken up as Team BC's defense has been pretty solid as far as breaking up 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 situations. They've been solid. Here's McConaughey driving the puck along the boards. Demopoulos battling for that puck. In there along with Paul Nichols. The puck is dumped down into Team BC territory. Back for it, it's Andrew Kemper. Kemper from center ice fires it in. Jones just lets it bounce off his pads. He lets the puck play him, which is the proper way of of playing this lovable position. And puck held by the Team BC goal for a face-off. Ron Branch hasn't really been tested since coming in. Brian Jones has been the busier of the two as far as the tough chances are concerned.
That's one of the things I was mentioning earlier. The Nelson goalie, whoever he was at the time, has been facing the tougher shots, even though the shots on goal are very close. I didn't expect them to be that close, but certainly Nelson has had their hands full as far as the more difficult shots.
In Nelson territory, a little bit of bumping going on as there's going to be a penalty to Team BC as Jones hustled to the bench. And finally, the puck is touched by Don McCusker, and it's McCusker who's heading off. I believe it's his second penalty of the game. Carrying on the old family tradition. His dad, Bob, was a rough and ready type hockey player, too.
Team BC penalty to number 15, Don McCusker, 2 minutes for charging at 14:52.
Every time I hear the name McCusker, reminds me of many stories I've heard out of Regina about an old-time goaltender by the name of Red McCusker, who was some sort of a character. In fact, he was immortalized in poetry, even.
Is that right? Any relation to these McCuskers?
I wouldn't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Jeff Ball plays the puck ahead to the Team BC line, a battle for it along the boards, and there'll be a face-off.
Well, with that penalty to McCusker, the referee is breaking up the monotony of calling 4 roughing penalties in a row, and he's now changed it to a charging penalty. Still only amounts to 2 minutes, and in the game today, none of the penalties have amounted to anything really as far as goals being scored. Let's see if Nelson can change that particular round of events at this particular moment.
Well, they have an impressive alignment out there. Swiderski, Mowry, Williams, Ball, and McConaughey, who has the puck now in center ice. McConaughey over to Williams. Williams was checked out, and the puck is cleared to the line, is stopped momentarily by referee Fujibayashi, but it was cleared out again. Puck deflected down right onto goaltender Brian Jones. And the Maple Leafs on the power play. Shandy Mowry, nice move. In over the line, Mowry puts on the brakes. Plays it off the boards. McConaughey shoots off the glove of goaltender Branch. And the puck is cleared down the ice. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty as Brian Jones likes to do his Hextall bit as far as passing the puck, which he's quite adept at doing.
Yes, he made a good pass there and just about caught Team BC on a line change there, and Nelson had an opportunity to perhaps take advantage of it. Currently playing in Team BC zone.
McConaughey, his shot is wide of the net. Puck is dumped out into the center ice area by Gary Parkstrom. Reuben Parker lost the puck, and an almost breakaway by Rob Millikan, who just couldn't get by the lone Nelson defender. Parker has the puck in his own zone. Team BC back at full strength. Loose puck in front of the Nelson net. There's a slap shot. Jones made the save. In behind the net, Mike Gray has the puck knocked away from him, and the Maple Leafs starting back. Here comes the Demopoulos in over the line. Wheeling around with the puck is Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh has it knocked away from him. Racing back for it is McCusker, and he was taken into the boards rather solidly. Here comes Demopoulos now with Deadmarsh. Demopoulos fires it in wide of the net as Nelson goes on a line change, and Team BC is on the attack. There's a pass to Gray. Gray was checked out, and back come the Maple Leafs again. Josh West to Dustin Green. He was knocked down. And once again, Team BC clearing the puck into Nelson territory, in behind the net. Now the puck taken by McKinley. McKinley has it knocked away from him, and it's cleared out by Josh West, who pushed it ahead with his gloved hand to keep it out. Back comes Team BC, a backhand shot, and that one was off the target. Jones out of the net, and the puck hit Kevin McConaughey and bounced in 6-0 for Team BC. A rather weird turn of events on that one, as Jones moved out of the net to play the puck. The puck was touched by a Team BC player. He knocked it in front of the net. It hit Kevin McConaughey and bounced in.
Sixth goal, scored by number 16, Rob Stevens, unassisted at 18:34.
18:34, 6-0 now for Team BC. They have scored 2 goals a period up to this point, with 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining in the game. 6-0 Team BC leading. There's a slap shot wide of the net in Nelson territory. The Maple Leafs finally get it out to the Team BC line into the center ice area. Fired back in again by David Green.
Less than a minute to go in the
Last minute of play in the hockey game. And it looks as though, barring a Nelson goal, it will be a shutout victory, as compiled by Dan Murphy and Ron Branch with 25 seconds remaining. And here comes ball, winds up, slap shot grabbed by Branch. He handled that one rather easily. And Team BC past the center ice, 2 lines with 13 seconds remaining. And it's just a matter of playing out the clock now.
Yes, obviously this game is not in doubt. I think we can safely say that at this point. And for that last Team BC goal, I think they almost had to go to the blue line to find the closest Team BC player, as Jones and McConaughey did an excellent job of converting that 6th goal for Team BC.
They sort of played a little bit of Gaston and Alphonse there. In the center ice area, the clock is finally run its course. And the final score, 6-0 Team BC over the Nelson Maple Leafs.
Well, Frank, an interesting contest tonight. The best under 17 players in BC here in the Nelson Civic Arena for a contest against composite of the Nelson Junior Maple Leafs, as we borrowed players from the surrounding region, Castlegar and Beaver Valley. And though Team BC handled us rather easily, the strong point, I guess, from tonight's game seems to be their defensive strategy with excellent goaltending. And we'll just trust that'll hold true for them as they go on to the Canada Winter Games in about a month and a half's time in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. What happened in the third period? Well, there was only 1 penalty and 2 goals. The penalty came at the 14:52 mark. That was a 2-minute charging penalty to Don McCusker. And the goals came from number 8, Rob Millikan from Powell River, and assists going to number 10, Randy Chadney, and number 20, Jade Kersey. And of course that 6th goal was sort of a fluke, as Brian Jones, the goaltender for Nelson, was trying to clear the puck, and it ended up on McConaughey's stick in front of the goal and bounced in, but it was credited to number 16, Rod Stevens. We look forward to bringing you action in the KIJHL this Saturday in the contest between the Trail Junior Smoke Eaters and the Nelson Maple Leafs. Trail firmly on top in the KIJHL in the West Division, and they'll be taking on Nelson, who's trying to get a hold on third place. They've had their ups and downs, playing hot and cold this year, so we'll see what happens in the new year as Nelson starts off the year with a couple of games on the 4th and 5th of January. And Frank Matovich, I'm looking forward to doing that game with you. Any closing comments on tonight's action?
Well, certainly the Team B.C. squad was, I think their strong point was they were able to break up any Nelson 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, and as far as their penalty killing goes, that was awfully strong, as was Nelson's. Of course, when you've got players out there like Shandy Mowry and, of course, let's not forget Steve Williams, he came back and showed everyone that he is still the premier penalty killer around. And I would have to say, though, that if there were 2 stars to be given, they had to be Joel Casey and Brian Jones, who did yeoman work in the nets for the Maple Leafs and were absolutely tremendous. The 2 goaltenders for Team BC, Murphy and, of course, Branch, were not tested as severely. They played solidly, but certainly didn't have the high-quality shots that Casey and Jones did.
Yes, 2 goals a period brings about a final score of 6-0 in this exhibition contest between Team BC and the Nelson Junior Maple Leafs, and we'll look forward to seeing some of the action from Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and hope that Team BC does well, and want to wish Ted Hargraves and Gary Bergquist and the rest of the staff all the best as they travel on to Charlottetown in February. And I'm looking forward to the game coming up in the KIJHL between Trail and Nelson, as we'll be handling the duties for that game. So on behalf of Frank Matovich, I'm Rick Loewen, would like to wish you the very best for 1991, and good night for now.